So welcome everyone to the Alpha Lambda Delta info session. This is a general info session. There's a bunch of different chapters invited. My name's Eileen Merberg, and I'm the Executive Director of Alpha Lambda Delta. And helping out tonight is Mia, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mia Langley. I am one of the ALD National Ambassadors, so I work along with Eileen. I'm also the Vice President of the chapter at Youngstown State University in Ohio.
Great. Okay. So first things first is we do offer we do gift card giveaways, Amazon gift card giveaways. So what we do for that is if you want to be entered to win, we'll just pull a bunch of names. If you put your school name, your name and your school in chat. Now, if your name already, I see a bunch of your names already pretty clearly in the participant list. But if it's not clear, because I have to find you in your email, which I can find online through our membership system. But anyway, just make sure your name is clear and put your school name in chat. And we're going to pick a handful to win Amazon gift cards. So thanks for coming. See now the PowerPoint's on the other side, so I have to get used to it over here. So let's get started. Again, it's about 30 minutes long at most. We're going to just talk briefly about Alpha Lambda Delta, answer your questions, and go from there. So we are a National Honor Society, international actually. We have chapters in other countries, but mostly in the US. There are a lot of different honor societies around, a lot of different ones across the world. And most of them are often discipline-based or like major-based. You'll get invited once you do well in your major. But for Alpha Lambda Delta, we're interdisciplinary, and our niche is first year. So you were invited because you did well your first semester at your university. And thanks for putting them in. Ohio State, Clemson, great. Miami, Colorado, great. UCLA, Nebraska, all right, Connecticut. So our goal and mission, if you will, is really just to promote academic excellence. So you did well, great foundation in your educational pursuits, and joining an honor society can do lots of things for you, but it can help you maintain that and continue to do well. We've been around a long time. Next year, we are 100. We turn 100, so we're pretty excited about that. We were founded in 1924. We technically have been recognized at over 400 universities, but about 300 are active. Sometimes chapters go inactive and then they activate again. And we are nationally certified. We're going to talk about legitimacy and spammy groups out there. Of which we are not, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. So again, you were invited because you did well your first semester, so congrats. It's a 3.5 or higher your first semester. We're going to talk a little bit more about the fee structure of Alpha Lambda Delta, just really briefly, just to say that there are two parts to the fee. And because there's so many different universities here, all fees are very different. It just depends on what your chapter chose as the local fee. The national fee for everybody here is $30. Everybody, it's just a $30 membership fee. That's the national fee, but every chapter can add on. And I know that like UCLA has another honor society that they partner with called Phi Sigma. So your fee is going to be a little higher because you're joining two organizations. We'll talk about fees in a minute. It's important to know that there are no recurring fees. You don't get charged over and over again. Great resume builder. We're going to talk a little bit more about the benefits. So Mia, do you want to, I was going to have you talk about the first, we're not at that slide yet, hang on. Everybody gets the certificate and pin that you'll get in an induction ceremony. So again, for ceremonies, there's a lot of different types of ceremonies. Some are in person, but ever since COVID, as you can imagine, there's been a lot of ceremonies we do online. I'm trying to see your universities. I know Nebraska Lincoln's going to be online. UCLA is in person. Clemson's online. Colorado State, I'm not 100% sure. Mia, what was yours online at Youngstown or in person?
Ours has the option to go online, but we're mainly in person.
Okay, so you've already had your ceremony?
Yes, it was in person.
Okay. So depending on if, yeah, it's either in person or online. In person, that you can see, these are just examples of in-person ceremonies. Online ones are really nice too, and then anybody can come. You can share the link with family and friends, and everybody can watch, and your name appears on the screen, and they're recorded, so it's nice. Okay, so Mia, do you want to jump in on maybe the first couple of these, and then I'll chime in, but you want to address some of these common questions and myths and thoughts about what we hear students ask about?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll give some of my personal testimonies too.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, I'm not an actor. I don't get paid for this. I'm a student, just like everyone else, like you. So having a high GPA isn't a big deal. No. Having a high GPA is amazing. You worked hard for it. You got to show it off. So why not join an honor society? You get a cool little Alpha Lambda Delta at the bottom of your resume. Um, and going with the GPA, so what if it drops below 3.5? Not to worry. College is hard. I'm a nursing major. My GPA fluctuates all the time. If it drops below 3.5, that doesn't mean you're going to get kicked out. Once you accept your membership, you're a member for life. So you don't have to worry about anything about your grades, your GPA, anything of that sort. Saying you don't have time. Being in college means you probably don't have time, especially if you work. Luckily for you, ALD doesn't require you to attend meetings. You don't have to have like a minimum time requirement to be involved. So you can just join and just be there for fun.
Cool. Okay, great. Let me just, that was great. Let me embellish it on a few. Yeah, the GPA, the thing about the GPA is it's not required that you maintain it, so you don't get kicked out, as Mia said, but also just know that, I mean, there's a lot of resources and support you're going to get as a member of Alpha Lambda Delta to maintain it, if that's a goal of yours. So we have incentives even for seniors who graduate with a cumulative 3.5. You can get another certificate. There's a senior book award. We'll talk about honor cords in a minute. So if that's a goal right now in your second semester of college, that's great. Like, go for it. Try and maintain high grades, and you're going to find support and resources from ALD to do that, but you don't get kicked out if you don't. And the only other thing I'll say about time, just, the main point is there are no requirements. So you're going to be encouraged to go to events. There's going to be a lot going on. I know these chapters are pretty active and they have a lot going on, all student led by your fellow student leaders, but you're not going to be required to go to things. And just know that for your time commitments and time management, things are going to change for you. Like right now, you might feel like you have a really full plate. Like this is the last thing you can consider adding. But that's going to change for you. You don't know what your time is going to be like next semester. You're learning how to learn now. You're doing well in classes. So next year, maybe courses aren't going to be as time consuming for you. Your work might change, activities might change. So you might find you have more time next year, the year after that, when you could be participating in ALD things. And just know that time changes. So don't make a decision based on time right now, when this is a lifetime membership, and you can find opportunities to be engaged later on. Okay, so time and money are the two top questions we get. I don't have time and I don't have money, or what, is it worth it? Why is there a fee? All of that. So I'm gonna hand over the money part, the financial piece of it to you, and then I'll embellish.
You got it. So our national fee is $30. And what that does is it goes straight to National ALD to help pay for cords, merch that you might get, all that fun stuff. And the question saying, why should you have to pay because you got good grades? It's not a matter of paying for the good grades. It's a matter of paying to get into ALD. Your grades already got you here. You just want to get in. And each chapter is different. So like I said, $30 is the national fee, but local chapters might add some just to pay for events, or maybe they give incentives, stuff like that.
Yeah, and pretty much from what I can see from schools here represented in chat, they all have an additional fee. So do the math, whatever is above 30 for you, whatever you were charged above 30, all goes to your chapter. That's 100% funds that go to the chapter, really to help run it. And every membership organization, first of all, has a membership fee. And every student organization, I mean, look around your campuses, and some of you are really large schools, you probably have hundreds, if not like 1,000 student organizations. I'm sure you know how many registered student organizations you have. They all have money. They're all using money. They all need money. They're all spending money. Oftentimes that money came from you already. Your student activity fee, every college and university in the country has a mandatory student activity fee that funds your student government, but it's funding student organizations, whether you join them or not. So just know that you need money to function on campus, whether it's having food at events, pay for it, like a cake at the induction ceremony, or supplies for a project you're working on. Maybe it's a service project, or writing letters to veterans or elderly in nursing homes. Like, there's going to be things that your fellow students need to purchase, and so that's what that money goes towards. For Youngstown, any other examples of what's the money get, that local fee, that amount above 30, what does that get spent on at Youngstown?
So we have $15 above the national fee. So we're at $45 for our new members. And that goes towards shirts. That goes for cords. We do a point system where if you attend meetings, you get points. And at the end, we tally up your points. And we'll actually give you a free cord, an honor cord. You can show off, at graduation. Look so smart. We also buy food. I mean, college kids love food. If there's food, I'm there. We do it for supplies. Recently, we just did some cards and vision boards for our members. So we bought all the stickers, all the markers, all the paper with the fee that our new members got inducted with.
I think we just featured you on our Instagram account.
So we did. We're so excited.
We just gave you guys a shout out for that event. So everybody here, there's a slide later. I'll show you our Instagram. We'd love for you to check it out. So enough about money, just, and well, let me just say, since UCLA is here, let me see if any other group has, nope, just UCLA. So as you have probably figured out from your invitations and your information, UCLA, there's another honor society. I won't get into it too much here, but there's another one that sometimes Alpha Lambda Delta partners with. It's called PES, or Phi Beta Sigma. So that you're joining two, the benefits of two, and your fee is going to be a little bit higher because it's double everything. The last thing I should say that I can't believe I didn't even mention about the finances of what that $30 goes towards is all the services at the national level, including scholarships. So we give out a lot of money in scholarships, and I'll talk a little bit more about the other benefits that you get nationally. Mia, Mia, anything you want to address on this slide?
Sorry, my phone is so small. So if I'm squinting everybody.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Getting
Do you want
too
me to,
close. No, it's not
to...
you.
Okay.
It's not you. It's just me. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
I think the main thing is just the fraternity and sorority. So this week, actually, we're doing basket raffles, and I have had so many people come up and ask if we're a sorority or a fraternity, and we are not. We are just an honor society. So don't be fooled about Alpha Lambda Delta, the Greek letters in the beginning. Just an honor society. No fraternity, no sorority here.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, they all got Greek letters, fraternities, sororities, and honor societies. Phi Beta Kappa, Psi Chi, and all the honor societies. Most of them have Greek letters. So we're pretty different. And oftentimes students think that if they are joining a fraternity or sorority, that they can't join another Greek letter organization, and that is not true. You can join, for fraternities and sororities, you can just join one. I know that world. I used to advise Greek life. So I know that once you join a sorority or fraternity, like, that's it, you don't join others. But that's just unique to social fraternities and sororities. Honor organizations, business fraternities, service fraternities, all those other Greek letter groups, you can join as many of them as you want. You're not restricted to joining those. So maybe, what did you think when you first got, and Mia, I'll ask you to talk about this one. What did you all think when you first got the invitation to Alpha Lambda Delta? Did you get maybe 3 or 4 others or one other invitation from another organization or another type of honor organizations? When you get many of them, or if you're not used to them or haven't heard of them, they can often seem a little suspect. So unfortunately, there are a few scams out there that I would caution you about, but Alpha Lambda Delta, as I mentioned, is certified. Mia, what did you think when you first got the ALD email invitation 2 years ago or whenever it was?
All right, I'll be completely honest. I thought it was a scam.
Yeah.
Before I got the invite, I was bombarded by honor societies wanting me to pay, I think, like $90 to $100 to join their honor societies. So when I got the ALD invite, I was a little skeptic, but I actually went on Instagram because I search Instagram for everything. It is like Google for me. And I searched it up and found out it's pretty legit. So from there, that's how I joined.
Yeah, and that's thanks for that. Yeah, and I would say just sort of do your homework. You know, there are some sketchy groups out there, a couple things to look for, and I won't spend a whole lot of time on it, but some things some red flags or things to look for. Do they have a chapter presence? Like, do they have a campus presence? Do they have chapters around the country where you could reach out to the president, to Mia, to someone like Mia or anyone on your campus like that are running the organization and using your funds to actually give back to you as a member? Not all of them do. There are PO box, in some warehouse in Washington, D.C. collecting your money and not really doing anything on campus. So watch for that. Do they have any academic criteria that they're actually verifying? I know some groups are just inviting millions of students. They somehow get email addresses and they're just sending out just millions of emails. But they're not checking grades. You just so happen, we know for sure you did well your first semester because those grades were verified by your chapter advisor, who is a faculty or staff member on your campus. Yeah, so just Google, as Mia said, either on actual Google or Instagram or wherever, and do some homework about those other groups. So just be careful about that. If you do, and the next to last bullet here is we're talking about getting involved. You'll get different things out of the organization if you do get involved, but we also said you don't have to. Like, you don't have to ever show up to any meeting or any event, and that is true. But it is still something that could look good on your resume. You're going to probably have a section, a category on your resume for awards, recognition, merit, whatever that is, and Alpha Lambda Delta will be a line on that resume. We're recognized because we're so old, because we're around 100 years. We have over 1 million members, employers and grad school applicant reviewers and all of that. They will know us. And last but not least on this slide is your membership follows you. So if you do transfer, you're a member for life no matter where you go. And you could let us know if you transfer to a school with a chapter. And if you transfer to a school without an ALD chapter, you would join, if you wanted, what we call our national chapter, just as a way to keep you in the loop. And you could help us start a new chapter at that school if you wanted, which is a great experience. So Mia, you want to cover, this is all just from our website, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. Just look at our website at National ALD, but a couple key benefits. Mia, do you want to touch on some of these?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll be super.
Yes, I can. Yeah. If I get close to the camera, though, I'm sorry, everybody. So leadership certificate. So they do have a program where you can get certified. Hold on, I gotta zoom in here. Sorry, everybody.
No, you're good.
So you can identify and build your strengths, overcome obstacles, and develop greater self-confidence, improve productivity, and learn more about effective communication skills. You can advance your overall leadership skills at your own pace, of course, and through your innovative ALD certified leadership program. Financial assistance. So like Eileen mentioned earlier, we do offer scholarships. That's part of where your the national fee, that $30 goes towards. So we offer $211,000 a year. That's a lot of money, and college is expensive. So I know we have the TRO scholarship.
STEM, study abroad.
Yes. Yep.
And then grad school.
Yes. And then your local chapters offer scholarships too. I know not all local chapters offer them, but I think Ohio State does.
Yep. UCLA does. I think Clemson does too. I'm not 100% sure.
Awesome.
Great.
And then last but not least, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go for it.
The last but not least, so discounts and perks. So once you accept your membership, you're eligible to participate in the ALD Perks program, which provides exclusive access to over 302,000 perks and discounts nationwide. Like I said earlier, college kids, I mean, we're struggling out here. So any discounts and any perks we can get, we got to get our hands on.
Yeah. So that's a free program through ALD, exclusive to ALD, comes with your membership. You do have to just opt into it. And you actually already know about it. You should know about it because, I'm sorry, once you join, if you join, you're going to get a welcome email and it's going to have a link to all these programs. Okay, let me just, I'll cover a few. We have a lot of career resources on our website. So again, check it out. This is a little known fact that you actually, if you ever work for the federal government, just by being in Alpha Lambda Delta, you're going to be upgraded 2 levels in pay. And that is a real thing. So a lot of people find that hard to believe, but it is for real. We talked about the resume and how it can enhance your resume. Mia talked a little bit about volunteer opportunities. There's all sorts of opportunities at the chapter level, leadership development, volunteering. These are students that are at a conference of ours. So we have 2 types of leadership events you can partake in. This is open to all students. It's coming up on April 23rd. Free online, open to all members. You'll find info on our website about that. And we do have an in-person conference every year. That might be something you might want to have a goal towards attending. Again, in the fall, this fall it's in Denver, Colorado. Next year, I think it's going to be in Chicago. We don't have the city picked yet. Always in October. Mia talked a little bit about the activities. And like I said, there's lots of different types of activities that can happen on the campus, on your campus. I just always like to make sure and point out that Alpha Lambda Delta is recognizing first year success. It's not just for freshmen though. It's not just for your first year because you're really winding down your first year. So you are a member for the next 3.5 years and for life really, but you could be active for 3 years on campus. There's going to be lots of things going on that you can partake in over the next couple of years. So it's not just for your freshman year. We've talked a little bit about honor cords, haven't we? So these are our honor cords. They're a lot of fun and very popular to wear at graduation. We have stoles and medallions too. Some students wear all 3, but they're popular. So I mentioned our online presence. So we're at National ALD, which is our website, as well as our social media. We're most active on Instagram. And literally just this morning, I think we posted a shout out to Youngstown State for some activities they're doing. But check out our Instagram. That's sort of going to give you a taste of the kinds of things we do or what we're like. We do a Why Join Wednesday and a study tip Sunday and Spotlight Saturday, things like that. So check us out online. So just in winding down, and be thinking of questions that we didn't answer, that you can put them in chat. But since there's so many different schools represented here, your timelines are all different. So just pay attention to the deadlines in the emails you're getting. There's all sorts of different deadlines. There's a deadline to make sure you join before your ceremony so that you get a certificate at the ceremony. But if you join after that deadline, you just won't have the certificate in time, but you can still join and pick it up from the office later, the chapter office on campus. So just again, if you have questions about that, I can try and be specific to certain chapters, but pay attention to dates in the emails you're getting. Okay, so let's open it up. Mia, any last sort of concluding thoughts, and then we could open up to questions if people have, put them in chat or turn your mics on. But Mia, anything you want to add?
Yeah, the only thing I can say, well, I can't even say enough about ALD. I was very skeptic about joining, and I'm not a super involved person, so I was a little weary about getting involved on campus, but it has been the best opportunity of my life. I've met so many people. I know Eileen was talking about the conference. This past conference was in Tampa, Florida, and I mean, I had the time of my life. First of all, we were in Florida, so of course it was awesome. But I got to meet so many cool people, and I have all their numbers, and I reach out to them when I'm feeling sad, need help with homework and everything. And I just can't express enough how many friends you're going to meet and how many great people you're going to meet.
Oh, that's sweet. That's nice.
I try.
That's cool. Okay, so that is our info session. If I don't see questions in chat, but if you think of anything, you can that is a text line, only text, not calls. That's the national headquarters, not your chapter. ALD is the national email address. Every email you've gotten from the MHS system, the My Honor Society system, which is our portal, should have your chapter advisor's name and email. It didn't, I know it did in your original invitation. So if you do have questions, you would rather ask just someone at Ohio State or at Miami or at Clemson, just find that original email you got and reach out to them. And they can